Once upon a time in a small village in Nigeria, there was a girl named Lami, who lived in the back room of her uncle's house. The room was small and dark. It had a small bed, a cracked window, and an old wooden box where she kept her few clothes. She had been living there since she was 10, when her mother and father died in a road accident on their way back from the city. After the funeral, her uncle Dura had taken her in. He told everyone he was doing it because he loved his late brother. In the village, people called him a good man. At home, he was different. On a warm morning, Lami woke up before the sun. She listened to the rooster crow, and then got up quietly, so she would not disturb anyone. The back room was behind the main house, separated by a small courtyard. She washed her face with water from a bucket and tied her scarf. As she stepped out, she could hear voices from inside the main house. "Make sure the blue cloth is ironed," Aunt Bola was saying. "It must look smooth. I don't want any wrinkles when Mira walks into that hall." Mira laughed. "Everyone will stare at me when I enter. I must look perfect." Lami's cousin, Myra, was beautiful and proud. She wore bright clothes and heavy earrings. Every day she talked about marrying a rich man. She and her mother thought she deserved the best. They believed Lami was a shadow. Lami began sweeping the courtyard. She swept slowly, thinking about the day ahead. It was market day, and there would be a small women's gathering at the village square. Bola wanted Mira to shine. Lami would help with everything and stand in a corner. As she swept, Bola came out holding a colorful wrapper. "Lami," she called. "Come here." Lami walked to her, keeping her eyes on the ground. "Good morning, Auntie. Take this wrapper and wash it," Bola ordered. "And make sure you cook the yams before we leave. Mira must eat well, and after that, iron Mira's yellow dress. The men from town will be there today." "Yes, Auntie," Lami replied. Bola's eyes narrowed as she looked at Lami. "Make sure you do not think of wearing anything nice. You will wear the brown wrapper you wore last time. This is Mira's day." "I understand," Lami said softly. She knew arguing would only bring trouble. She took the wrapper and went to the washing area by the back gate. The water was cold, but she scrubbed until her fingers were red. Inside, Mira put on earrings and looked at herself in a cracked mirror. She called out to Lami, "Bring me the necklace with blue stones. And hurry." Lami rinsed the wrapper and rushed in. "Here," she said, placing the necklace in Mira's hand. Mira smirked. "You see, Lami, your help will one day be rewarded. Maybe you will marry someone who sells gari," she teased. Lami smiled politely and walked back out. She had learned to smile even when the words cut like a knife. By midday, the sun was high. Lami had prepared the yams and stew. She had ironed Mira's dress so many times that her arms ached. When it was time to go, Bola and Mira walked ahead, laughing and talking. Dura followed, wearing his best shoes. He did not invite Lami to walk beside them. Lami carried a basket of oranges and a pot of stew on her head. She walked behind, careful not to spill anything. At the village square, women gathered under a large tree. They spread mats on the ground and set up small tables with food. Music from a small radio played quietly. Mira sat on a wooden bench, surrounded by friends. Bola stood near her, smiling at everyone and talking loudly about Mira's beauty and good manners. Lami set the basket down near the other foods. She helped lay out plates and cups. She listened as the women talked about their children, their husbands, and the latest village gossip. Some women glanced at Lami and whispered. She could guess what they were saying. They wondered why she was still unmarried. They wondered if something was wrong with her. She tried to ignore it. A group of young men arrived from a nearby village. They wore nice shirts and shoes. They sat down under another tree and watched the gathering. Mira lifted her chin and smiled at them. She stood up slowly, allowing them to see her dress. She walked past them gracefully, making sure they saw the way her earrings sparkled. "Isn't she beautiful?" Bola whispered to an older woman. "She will marry well soon. We are not worried." One of the young men, a tall man with kind eyes, looked at Lami. He watched her carrying plates and pouring drinks for women. She did not notice at first. When she did, she looked away quickly. Bola saw him watching Lami. Her face tightened. "You," she hissed at Lamy, "go fetch more water. We need more water for washing hands." Lamy nodded and picked up the jugs. As she walked away, she heard Bola turn to the young man. "Don't worry about that one," Bola said, leaning closer. "She is difficult. She is stubborn. We have tried to get her married off many times, but she scares men away. Our daughter Mira is a better wife." The young man frowned slightly. "She doesn't look stubborn," he said. "Don't be fooled by her quiet face," Bola whispered. "She argues, she fights, she is lazy. She refuses good men. We only keep her because she has nowhere else to go." Lamy returned with the water and handed it out. The young man gave her a small smile. She returned it politely and looked down. She did not trust the warmth. She knew her uncle and aunt could turn any smile into bitterness. As the event ended, Mira's friends gathered around her, praising her hair and dress. Bola boasted about how many rich men had asked about Mira. "We will soon be celebrating," she told them. Lamy cleared plates and listened quietly. On the way home, Dora walked slowly, talking to a friend about the price of yams. Bola and Mira whispered about the men they had seen. They did not include Lamy in their conversation. She trailed behind them, balancing empty pots on her head. Her neck ached, but she kept walking. As they passed a group of children playing with sticks, one of the boys shouted, "Auntie Lamy, come play with us," Bola snapped. "Leave her alone. She has no time for play. She must cook. She must clean. Our own daughter will be resting. Some people do not know their place." The children fell silent. Lamy's heart hurt, but she smiled at the boy and mouthed, "Another time." He nodded sadly. Back at home, she washed the pots and plates. She swept the floor. She cooked another meal for the evening. When the house was quiet and everyone had eaten, Lamy walked back to her small room. She closed the door and sat on the bed. She took out a small wooden box from under the bed. Inside was an old photograph of her parents. Her father was tall and dark-skinned. He wore a simple shirt and held a hat in his hand. Her mother wore a pretty dress and stood beside him, her hand on his arm. In the background was a large house with white walls and wide windows. It was the family mansion that her parents had built in the town nearby. Lamy traced her mother's smile with her finger. "One day," she whispered, "I will enter that house again." She did not know when or how. She only knew that the memory of that house kept her heart alive when the world around her was cold. She placed the photo back in the box and lay down. Through the small window, she could see the moon rising. She closed her eyes and listened to the quiet noises of the night. Crickets singing, a dog barking in the distance, and the soft breaths of the family sleeping in the rooms of the main house. Her last thought before she slept was of her father's voice, telling her stories about courage. She held on to those stories as she drifted into sleep. The weeks passed, and the pattern in Lamy's life continued. Each time a man from another village came asking about her, Dora and Bola pushed Mira forward. They dressed Mira in new clothes, braided her hair with beads, and taught her how to smile and speak modestly. Mira laughed and giggled with them. She dreamed about living in a city, wearing high heels and eating at restaurants. She believed every rich man who came to their village would fall in love with her. But somehow, the men always found their eyes drawn to Lamy. She did not seek attention. She did her chores quietly. She spoke politely. She listened more than she talked. Maybe it was her calm presence. Maybe it was the kind look in her eyes. Whatever it was, men noticed. They asked for her. And every time, Dora and Bola did the same thing. They lied. One afternoon, a young teacher from a nearby town came to see Dora. He brought a small basket of oranges and some cola nuts. He sat on the porch of the main house with Dora, while Lamy washed clothes by the well. "I have heard of a young woman in your house named Lamy," the teacher said. "I have watched her at the market. She is respectful and kind. I would like to talk to you about marrying her." Dora smiled politely. "Lamy," he said, raising an eyebrow. "Oh, she is a lot of trouble. She doesn't listen to anyone. She refuses to cook on days she is told to cook. She fights. You look like a gentleman. She would disturb your peace." The teacher looked surprised. "She doesn't seem like that." I see her working all the time. Ah, Dura said, shaking his head. She only pretends in public. At home, she is different. She talks back, she argues. She sits around doing nothing. Bola came out, drying her hands on a cloth. Who are you talking about? She asked, though she already knew. This young teacher said he is interested in Lami, Dura said with a sly smile. Lami? Bola exclaimed. She laughed loudly. You want to marry her? I advise you to think twice. She will stress you. You need someone like Almira. Our own daughter is calm and well-trained. She cooks like a professional. She is obedient and never raises her voice. She will make you happy. The teacher glanced at Mira through the doorway. She wore a bright wrapper and tried to appear shy. Is that your daughter? He asked. Yes, Bola said, smiling widely. She is pure. She is respectful. She comes from a good family. She will make you proud. The teacher hesitated. I appreciate your advice, he said, but I have my heart set on Lami. I have watched her help older women at the stream. I have seen her share her food with children who were hungry. My spirit tells me she is a good person. Bola's face tightened. Spirit? You better listen to reason, young man, she said, her voice hardening. If you insist on her, do not come crying to us when you regret it. Dura leaned in. We cannot stop you if you are determined, he said, his voice low, but we will not bless it. The teacher stood up. He bowed politely. Thank you for your time, he said. He walked toward the gate. As he passed the well, he looked at Lami, who looked back. He gave her a small nod, like a goodbye. Lami watched him leave, knowing she would never see him again. She felt a familiar disappointment settle in her chest, and she pushed it down. After the teacher left, Mira walked to the backyard where Lami was folding clothes. She crossed her arms. You, she said sharply. Lami looked up. What is it? You always ruin things, Mira hissed. Why can't you just disappear? Why do they always come here for you? You are cursed. I did not call him, Lami replied calmly. I did not ask him to come. It doesn't matter, Mira said. You should have told him you were not interested. You should have said you are already engaged to someone else. Do you enjoy seeing me rejected? Do you enjoy making me look like I am not good enough? Mira, I never, Lami began. Shut up, Mira snapped. She moved closer. Every time someone chooses you, it means someone chooses not to choose me. Can you imagine how that feels? I deserve the best. Not you. She grabbed a metal cup and threw it into the bushes. It hit a stone and rang loudly. Bola's voice came from the kitchen. Mira, what was that noise? Nothing, Mira shouted back, not taking her eyes off Lami. She moved even closer until they were nose to nose. Listen, she whispered fiercely. If I find out you have been meeting these men at night, or smiling at them when no one is looking, I will make you sorry. Do you hear me? I have never done that, Lami said softly. Mira's eyes burned. She gave Lami a hard shove. Lami stumbled but kept her balance. She did not push back. Mira smirked and turned away. Just remember what I said. She threw over her shoulder. She flipped her hair and went inside. Later that day, Mira sat with her mother and father in the sitting room. Bola was sewing a seam on a dress. Dura was counting money. Mira pouted. Why does everyone look at her? She asked. Why don't they see me? Bola sighed. It is her fault, she said. She stands in front of you like a wall. But we will handle it. How? Mira asked. Every time a rich man comes, he still wants her, no matter what we say. We will not let her ruin your future, Dura said firmly. Next time a rich man comes, we will not give him a chance to talk to her. We will hide her. We will send her far away. We will pretend she is sick. We will do whatever it takes. Mira leaned back. She smiled, imagining a future where Lami was far away and she was living in a city with servants. Yes, Papa, she said. Do it. I don't care where she goes. Bola nodded. Yes, we will teach her a lesson. We cannot let a poor orphan ruin our daughter's chance. The plan settled among them like a shadow. Not long after, a new rumor spread through the village. A wealthy businessman from Lagos was coming to look for a wife. Women whispered about his cars, his houses, his fine clothes. They said his name was Seyi. They said he was tall and handsome. They said he had built schools and hospitals. Every girl in the village hoped he would choose her. Bola and Mira were excited. "This is it," Bola said, clapping her hands. "This is the one. He will marry Mira. We will move to Lagos. We will eat fried rice every day. We will fly in airplanes." Dura nodded. "Yes, we must prepare. We must show him that Mira is the jewel of our house." Mira pranced around, practicing her walk. "I will not even talk much," she said to her mother. "Rich men like girls who are humble. I will just smile and look down. He will fall in love immediately." But when Sei arrived, something surprising happened. He did not look at Mira first. He looked at Lami. He came with elders and a small group of people. He wore a simple shirt and trousers, not flashy clothes. When he entered the compound, he greeted Dura, Bola, and Mira politely. Then he looked past them and saw Lami sweeping the courtyard. He stopped for a moment. He seemed to study her face. Lami looked up and gave a small, respectful bow. Their eyes met. Something like recognition flickered in Sei's eyes. Then he looked away. Bola noticed. Her smile tightened. "Sir, this is our daughter Mira," she said quickly, pulling Mira forward. "She is calm. She is beautiful. She went to school. She cooks all the dishes you love. She knows how to run a home." Sei nodded politely. "She is very beautiful," he said. "It is a pleasure to meet you." He turned to Mira and shook her hand. Mira smiled sweetly and looked down, just like she had practiced. Then Sei turned to Dura. "Thank you for welcoming me into your home," he said. "I have not come here to cause any trouble. I have heard of a young woman named Lami. I came to speak with her guardian about the possibility of marriage." The words fell like stones. Bola froze. Mira's smile disappeared. Dura's mouth hung slightly open. He forced a laugh. "Lami," he said, trying to hide his anger. "Ah yes, Lami. She is around somewhere." "Yes," Sei said. "I would like to discuss it with you." Bola quickly stepped forward. "We appreciate your interest," she said, forcing a smile. "But Lami is not ready for marriage. She is still young. She is not trained. She cannot take care of a household like our Mira." Sei looked at her calmly. "I understand your concerns," he said. "May I speak with her? I would like to hear her thoughts." "No," Mira blurted out. Bola shot her a look. Mira bit her lip, but her eyes burned. Dura forced another laugh. "You are a respectable man," he said. "But we cannot allow you to waste your time on her. She is not a good match. She disrespects elders. She is lazy. You need someone like Mira." Sei kept his eyes on Dura. "If that is your final word, I will respect it," he said. "But I believe everyone deserves a chance to speak for themselves." Lami stood quietly by the side, her broom in hand. Her heart beat fast. She wanted to hide. She wanted to speak. She wanted to run. Dura gave her a look that said, "Stay away." Bola's eyes were cold. That evening, when everyone was inside and the house had quieted, Lami heard a soft knock on the door of the back room. She opened it and found Sei standing there alone. The moonlight lit his face. "I am sorry to disturb you," he said. "May I speak with you? Just for a moment?" Lami held the door open a little. "Why?" she whispered. "I wanted to know if your uncle's words were true," he said. "Do you not want to marry? Do you not want to marry me? I must be honest. I admired you. I saw how you help children. I saw how you cook for elders. I came back because you touched my heart. But if you say no, I will leave." Lami looked at the ground. Tears filled her eyes, but she blinked them away. "You did nothing wrong," she said quietly. "But if I accept you, it will make my life here very hard. You don't know them. They will punish me. They will punish you. They will try to give Mira to you. If you refuse, they will blame me. I am tired of being blamed. I am tired of being punished for things I did not do. I am sorry, but I must say no." Sei's shoulders sagged. He nodded slowly. "You do not want me to fight for you?" he asked. "It is not about you," she said. "It is about the peace I need. Your presence will bring more chaos. Maybe there will be a time when I can choose love freely. Now is not that time." Sei stared at her. He looked disappointed and respectful at the same time. He bowed his head. "I will honor your words," he said. "I wish your life could be different. I hope you will be safe." He turned and walked away into the night. Lami closed the door, leaned against it, and cried silently. She did not cry because she had lost a chance at a rich life. she cried, because she had to refuse kindness to protect herself from cruelty. She felt trapped in a world that punished her for things she did not control. The next morning, Mira stormed into the back room. She kicked a bucket near Lammy's bed. "Get up!" she shouted. "You think you are a queen? You think men will always come crawling to you? One day, you will see what happens to girls like you who turn away wealth. You will regret it." Lammy sat up slowly. Her eyes were swollen from crying. She said nothing. She knew words would not help. Myra glared at her. "When I marry a man 10 times richer than that one, you will cry," she said. "You will see me in a big house, and you will remember how you said no to him. That will be my joy. That will be my sweet revenge." Lammy stared at her cousin. She wanted to tell Mira that she did not wish her pain. She wanted to say she did not want to compete, but she remained silent. Mira flicked her hair and walked out. Outside, Dora and Bola sat at the table. They were angry. They did not hide it. They whispered to each other about Lammy's foolishness. Dora slammed his hand on the table. "Next time," he said, "we will not ask her opinion. We will send her away. She cannot keep ruining our plans." Bola nodded. "Yes, I have had enough. She thinks she can choose. She will learn. We will teach her." Mira sat down with them, her eyes shining with determination. "You must protect me," she said. "I cannot let her stand in my way anymore." "We will," Bola said, patting Mira's hand. "We will make sure the next rich man never sees her face." Across the yard, Lammy stood by the well and listened. Her heart felt heavy. She thought about her parents, about the family house they had built. She thought about the men who came and left. She thought about the kind man she had just turned away. She whispered to herself, "I will survive this. I will survive this because I must." That night, when everyone went to bed, Lammy took out the old photo again. She touched her mother's face in the picture and remembered the songs her mother used to sing. She whispered, "I miss you." She then lay down and let the darkness comfort her. The stars above the small window blinked like tiny eyes, watching her and her secret hope. Say returned to the city with a heavy heart. The noise of Lagos did not cheer him. He drove past tall buildings, busy markets, and bright billboards. He walked through hotels and restaurants. He attended meetings with men in suits. He shook hands, signed documents, and bought properties. He smiled at people. He hosted events. He gave money to charities. But when he was alone, he felt a deep loneliness. One evening, he sat on the balcony of his penthouse, looking at the city lights. His cousin Toby, who managed some of his businesses, came and stood beside him. "You look troubled," Toby said. Say sighed. "I am troubled," he said. "I went back to the village. I met someone who touched my heart. I wanted to marry her, but she refused. Not because she did not like me, but because her family's greed would have made her life hard." Toby leaned on the railing. "You mean that girl you told me about before?" he asked. "The one you saw at the outreach event? The one who helps children?" "Yes," Say said. "Her name is Lammy. She is different. She rejected me to protect herself from her family. Can you imagine that? Most people begged to marry me. She refused me because she knew her family would use me to hurt her." Toby shook his head. "This world is full of strange things," he said. "Most people would run to you if you offered them marriage. They would do anything to join your name. But she is different. She is different," Say agreed. "And because she is different, she remains in that house as a servant. Her uncle and his wife treat her badly because she overshadows their daughter. It makes me angry. It makes me want to do something. But what can I do? She told me to leave. She did not want me to fight for her. She wanted peace in her home." Toby thought for a moment. "Sometimes," he said slowly, "the fight is not to give someone money or a ring. Sometimes the fight is to change the system that keeps them in pain. You cannot force her to accept you, but maybe you can find another way to help." "What way?" C asked. "If I send her money, her uncle will take it. If I send gifts, her aunt will claim them. If I try to remove her by force, people will call me a kidnapper. If I go there as myself again, they will treat her worse." Toby looked at him. "What if you do not go as yourself?" he asked. What if you go as someone else? What if they think you are poor? Would they still choose their daughter? Would they still choose to keep Lami out of sight? If you can show her how they truly see her value, maybe she will be free to leave. And if you can see how she behaves when you have nothing, then you will know if her heart is true. C raised an eyebrow. You are suggesting I pretend, he asked. It is a test, Toby said. Not a test to embarrass her. A test to expose the people around her. If they agree to marry her to a poor man quickly, you will know they only held her back because they wanted money. If she still treats you with respect, when she thinks you have nothing, you will know her heart. It is risky, Sei said. It is unfair to lie. It is also risky to let her remain there without help, Toby replied. You have tried the direct way. It did not work. Maybe a different approach is needed. In life, sometimes you have to wear a mask to see the truth behind other people's masks. Sei looked at the city lights. He thought about Lami's face. He thought about the sadness in her eyes when she rejected him. He thought about the way she helped old women. He thought about the way she looked at him with both hope and fear. He turned to Toby. If I do this, will you help me? He asked. I will always help you, Toby said. You know that. Sei nodded slowly. Then we will plan, he said. We will plan carefully. We will not hurt her. We will not embarrass her. We will use this plan only to understand her world and to expose what her family hides. We must be careful. If we fail, it will make things worse. Toby agreed. They spent hours talking about the details. They decided that Sei would return to the village as a poor man using a wheelchair. He would use a different name. He would wear old clothes. He would live in a small house. He would pretend he had lost his fortune in an accident. He would ask to marry Lami, and they would see how Dura and Bola reacted. Meanwhile, in the village, Lami's life grew more difficult. After Sei left, Bola and Dura became even more determined to control her future. They stopped telling her when suitors came. They hid her in the back room when men visited. They told people she was sick, possessed, or betrothed. They laughed behind her back. They made her work more. They took away her good wrapper and gave her old clothes. They said it would make her less attractive. One day, when Lami was cleaning the kitchen, she overheard Bola and Dura talking to Mira. You must be ready, Bola was saying. The next rich man who comes, we will take you to him in secret if necessary. We will not let him see Lami. She is the reason you are still here. You must also be careful, Dura added. Do not scare him away like you did with the last one. You talk too much about his cars. Men do not like that. You must act like you do not care about his money, Mira pouted. How can I not talk about his money? That is the best part. You want the reward. You must play the game, Bola said sternly. Lami set down the spoon she was cleaning. She leaned against the wall and felt a wave of sadness. They were planning her sister's future like a business, and they were planning her life like a leftover. She wished she could go somewhere far away. She wished she could find a way to earn money and leave. But leaving meant leaving the small hope of finding kindness again. It meant leaving the possibility of ever entering her father's house again. It meant leaving the memory of her mother's songs. That night, Lami sat outside the back room under the stars. She hugged her knees to her chest. The night breeze was cool against her face. She looked up at the sky and whispered, God, you see everything. You see my heart. You see their greed. You see my pain. Please make a way for me. Please make a way for me that will not harm others. A few days later, as the rainy season clouds began to gather, a rumor spread through the village that a poor man had arrived. People said he had been rich before, but an accident left him crippled and broke. They said he had come to live in a rented room near the edge of the village. They said he needed help. They said he was looking for a woman who would accept him despite his condition. Bola heard the rumor and laughed. A cripple, she said. Who cares? Let him find his own way. But when a village elder came to the house and said the poor man was interested in Lami, Bola and Dura suddenly saw an opportunity. This is perfect, Bola whispered to Dura. If she marries him, she will be out of our house. She will suffer. She will never have a happy life, and Mira will be free to marry a rich man without competition. Dura nodded. Yes, let us see how quickly he will take her, he said. We will not even negotiate bride price. We will just give her away. It is time. Mira was delighted. She deserves him, she said. She turned down a rich man. Now she will marry a cripple. It is fitting. Later that evening, as Lami cooked yam in the kitchen, Bola walked in. We have a visitor who wants to see you, she said in a tone that made Lami's stomach twist. What visitor? Lami asked, wiping her hands on her wrapper. A poor man, Bola said with a sneer. A man who cannot walk. He has lost everything. He is looking for a wife. He chose you. You must meet him. Lami frowned. Why me? She asked. Why not Mira? She is always talking about getting married. Bola laughed harshly. Myra will marry a man who will change our lives, she said. You will marry a man who will remind us that not all lives can change. Prepare yourself. He will come tomorrow. You will not embarrass us. You will say yes. Lami felt a cold wave wash over her. She wanted to scream, but no words came out. She nodded slowly. Yes, Auntie, she whispered. She turned back to the yam pot. Her hands trembled. She tried not to let Bola see her fear. That night she could not sleep. She lay on her bed, her mind racing. She thought about the kind man she had turned away to protect herself. She thought about the new man she was expected to marry. She imagined being tied to someone she did not know, someone she did not love, someone who might be cruel or kind. She imagined leaving the house where she had lived for so long, stepping into an unknown future. She tried to imagine freedom, but it felt like a dream far away. She closed her eyes and prayed for courage. Back in Lagos, Seyi prepared for his return. He went to a warehouse where his staff stored wheelchairs and hospital equipment donated for charity. He chose an old wheelchair that squeaked slightly, but looked strong. He asked a tailor to sew plain clothes that looked worn. He cut his hair short. He practiced moving around slowly, learning to use the wheelchair with his arms. Toby helped him, laughing at times but serious too. You look like an entirely different person, Toby said after Seyi put on the clothes. Seyi looked in the mirror. He saw a man who looked tired, poor, and broken. He did not look like the head of an empire. He did not look like a man with power. He nodded. This will work, he said. Now I must prepare my heart. I must remember not to act like a man used to respect. I must let them treat me however they wish. I must watch and listen. This is not about pride. This is about truth. Toby placed a hand on his shoulder. And remember, he said softly, do not let your disguise hurt her. If she accepts you, it is because she is forced. Do not play with her feelings. Do not punish her for their actions. We are here to help her find a way out. Seyi nodded. I will remember, he said. He took a deep breath. Let us go back to the village. They drove in a small car, not the usual convoy. They brought only a few bags. When they reached the village, Seyi felt his heart pounding. He stopped by the road and watched the children playing. He saw the women carrying water. He saw the little shop where he had once bought bananas. He saw the path to Dura's house. He closed his eyes for a moment, then opened them. Let the truth come, he whispered. Seyi arrived at the gate of Dura's house, looking like a poor stranger. A village elder named Papa Ojo pushed his wheelchair slowly. Papa Ojo was an old man who helped people in the village. He knew Seyi's plan, and had agreed to introduce him as Sayo, a poor man who had lost everything. Dura sat in the shade of a tree, chewing on a stick. Bola was inside grinding peppers. Mira was on a stool painting her nails. They saw Papa Ojo and Seyi coming up the path. Dura said, frowning. Who is that? Papa Ojo waved. Dura, he called. I have come with a visitor. He is looking for a wife. Bola wiped her hands and came out. Mira followed. They saw the wheelchair and exchanged looks. A wheelchair? Mira whispered to her mother. Is he the one? Let us see what he wants. Bola whispered back. When they reached the porch, Papa Ojo stopped and cleared his throat. This is Sayo, he said, nodding to Seyi. He has come from far. He used to have money, but he had an accident. He lost his family, his wealth, and his legs. He is looking for a woman who can love him even though he is poor. He has heard of your house. He is interested in your niece, Lami. Dura's eyes widened. Lami? He repeated slowly, then quickly masked his surprise. He wanted to laugh, but he kept a serious face. Oh, he said. He looked at Sei's face. He could not recognize the rich man from before. Sei's hair was short. His clothes were plain. He had a tired look. You are welcome, Dura said, forcing a smile. Bola looked at Sei up and down. She hid a smirk. Ah, we are honored, she said loudly. Sit, sit. Though you are already sitting, she added, and Mira covered a giggle. Sei smiled politely. Thank you, he said quietly. He looked at Lami through the open door. She was in the kitchen preparing vegetables. She had not yet seen him. He felt a lump in his throat. He remembered her smile, her voice, her tears. He felt guilty. He reminded himself why he was doing this. You said you want to marry Lami? Dura asked, acting surprised. Yes, sir, Sei said. I have no money, I have no family, I have only my life. I want a woman who will not despise me. I have heard Lami is kind. I thought she might accept me. Bola exchanged a glance with Dura. Lami is very kind, she said. Too kind. Some say she is too soft. She will pity you. She will marry you out of pity. That is what we worry about, Dura added. We do not want her to marry you because she feels sorry for you. But if you insist, we will allow you to see her. She cannot refuse. She owes us. Mira stood behind her mother, hiding her smile. She whispered to herself, let her push this wheelchair forever. Papa Ojo nodded. It is your house, he said. May I call Lami? Bola shouted. Lami, come here. Her voice was sharp. Lami came out, wiping her hands. She saw the wheelchair and froze. Her eyes moved to the face of the man sitting in it. She did not recognize him at first. His eyes looked different. He looked tired and poor. But there was something in his gaze that felt familiar. She stepped closer, her heart beating faster. This is Sayo, Dura said. He is interested in you. He wants to marry you. Lami looked at Sei. He looked at her. His eyes softened. She sensed kindness behind the tiredness. She also sensed something else. Something like a secret. She looked at her uncle and aunt. They looked almost happy. That was strange. They were never happy when men came for her. They always found faults. Why were they happy now? Her stomach twisted. Why me? She whispered. Why not Mira? Bola laughed. Mira cannot marry a cripple, she said, not bothering to hide her scorn. Mira needs someone strong and rich to match her beauty. Sayo here is poor. He needs a woman who can suffer with him. That is you, Mira added. Yes. You always take what is meant for me. Take this one. We will see how you like it. Lami looked at Sei again. He met her eyes. His gaze was steady. She saw sadness and something like apology. She saw no mocking. She saw no greed. A thought crossed her mind. Maybe this man would not try to destroy her. Maybe he would not treat her like a burden. Maybe he would understand her pain. Maybe he would be kind. We must decide quickly, Dura said. We cannot keep Sayo waiting. We do not want to be rude. Can I talk to him alone? Lami asked quietly. Just for a moment? Bola laughed. Talk about what? She said. He has no money to offer. He cannot promise you anything. You just have to accept. Let her talk, Papa Ojo said calmly. If she will marry him, she must agree with her heart. Dura grunted but nodded. Fine, he said. We will go inside for a moment. Talk fast. He and Bola and Mira stepped into the house. Lami walked closer to Sei. She sat on a low stool near him. Why are you here? She whispered, her voice shaking. I heard you are kind, Sei said softly. He kept his voice low so the others would not hear. I heard you do not judge people by their wealth. I am looking for someone who will marry me because of who I am now, not because of who I was. I am looking for someone who can see past a wheelchair. Lami looked into his eyes. Your eyes, she murmured. They seem familiar. Sei's heart raced. He wanted to tell her the truth. He wanted to tell her he was the same man she had turned away, the one who had come with wealth. He wanted to say he was doing this to free her, but he could not. Not yet. I have been to this village before, he said quietly. I saw you once at a community event. You were helping children. I never forgot you. Lami felt a blush creep up her cheeks. You came back, she whispered. Why? Because I could not forget your kindness, he said. Because when I was rich, people loved my money. Now that I have nothing, I need someone who will love my heart. I thought, maybe you would. Lami looked down. Her hands trembled. They will force me to say yes, she whispered. They will punish me if I refuse. They want me to marry someone poor so they can control me. They do not care if I am happy. They just want me gone. I know, Sei said, surprising her. I know what they want. But what do you want? Lami looked at him, her eyes filled with tears. I want peace, she said. I want a life where I am not always blamed. I want to feel safe. I do not care about money. I just want to breathe without fear. Sei nodded slowly. If you marry me, he said, I will treat you with respect. I will not harm you. I cannot promise riches. I cannot promise that your family will be kind. But I can promise that I will do my best to make you feel safe. Will you accept me? Lami looked at her hands. She took a deep breath. My heart does not know you, she whispered. But my heart is tired of living here. If I refuse you, they will find someone worse. If I accept you, maybe I will find some kindness. Maybe I will find some freedom. I will accept. Sei's eyes filled with unshed tears. He whispered, thank you. He felt guilt cut through his chest. He was lying to her, but he was also hoping to save her. He would have to carry the weight of this lie until he could reveal the truth. Dura, Bola, and Mira came back out. What have you decided? Dura asked. Lami stood. She looked at her uncle and aunt. She saw the triumph in their eyes. She saw the jealousy in Mira's eyes. She swallowed hard. I will marry him, she said quietly. Bola clapped her hands. Good, she said, smiling wickedly. Very good. We will prepare the wedding quickly. He has no money for bride price, so let us not waste time. Mira smirked. Finally, she said, the Queen of Beauty will become a pusher of wheels. Lami looked at Mira. A spark of anger flared in her eyes. Better to push a man who respects me than to chase after men who only see my beauty, she said calmly. Better to push than to be pushed by greed. Mira's smile faltered. She opened her mouth to reply, but Bola grabbed her arm. Keep quiet, she hissed. Papa Ojo smiled gently at Lami. It will be well, he said. God sees everything. As Sei was pushed out of the compound, Lami watched him go. She felt a strange mix of fear, hope, and confusion. She did not know he would one day stand and change everything. She did not know she would walk through storms before seeing the sun. She only knew she had stepped onto a new path, and there was no turning back. The days leading up to the wedding were filled with chores and whispers. Bola and Mira prepared to humiliate Lami. They wanted everyone to see how low she had fallen. They wanted to laugh as Lami pushed her groom in a wheelchair. They wanted to erase the memory of the rich man who had once come for her. Bola woke Lami early every morning. Go to the market, she commanded. Buy palm oil, buy pepper, and do not think about choosing anything fine. You will wear the brown dress for your wedding. It matches your status. Mira picked up a bright orange dress from the sewing table. This is for me, she said, twirling. I must look my best at your wedding. Everyone must see the difference between us. Lami kept her eyes down and did as she was told. She walked to the market with a basket on her head. Women stared at her. Some whispered, others shook their heads. Imagine, one woman said. The most beautiful girl in the village marrying a cripple. What a waste. Maybe she has a secret sickness, another woman whispered. Maybe no rich man wants her because she is cursed. Lami heard them, her heart squeezed, but she kept walking. She remembered her mother's words. People will talk. Your heart must speak louder than their voices. She held on to that. At home, Lami cleaned the compound. She washed clothes, she pounded yam. She ironed Myra's dress until it shone. She polished Mira's shoes. She cooked stew. Every time she finished one task, Bola gave her another. Mira practiced walking with a small plate on her head. Look at me, Lami, she said, balancing it. I will be the star of your wedding. People will see me and forget you are the bride. Lami responded quietly. If they forget me, I will have peace. The night before the wedding, Bola called Lami into the sitting room. Tomorrow, she said, you will not embarrass us. You will walk behind Mira. You will not speak unless someone speaks to you. You will not cry. If you cry, people will think you did not want this marriage. You will smile. Do you understand? Yes, Auntie, Lamy said softly. Her heart felt heavy. She went to her back room, sat on the bed and let her tears flow. She cried quietly, covering her mouth with a cloth so no one would hear. She cried for the life she could have had. She cried for the choices she never got to make. She cried for her parents, wishing they were there to hold her. When her tears dried, she whispered a prayer. God, please give me strength. Meanwhile, Sei sat in his small rented room near the village edge. He wore the worn clothes he had chosen. He ran his hands over the wheelchair's arms. He thought about Lamy's face when she accepted him. He felt a pain in his chest. Toby sat across from him, watching. Are you ready? Toby asked. As ready as I can be, Sei replied. Tomorrow, I will marry her. Tomorrow I will watch them laugh. Tomorrow I will have to hide my anger. I must remember why we are doing this. Toby nodded. Remember her eyes, he said. Remember her words. Let them guide you. And remember, we are recording everything. Their cruelty will be their own undoing. The wedding day dawned. The sky was cloudy. A gentle breeze blew through the village. Lamy washed her face and put on the brown dress. It was plain and loose. Mira wore her bright orange dress. It hugged her figure and shone in the morning light. She wrapped her head in a matching cloth and added gold earrings. Bola looked at Lamy and frowned. I should have given you an even older dress, she muttered. You still look too nice. They walked to the small church at the end of the village. The path was sandy and uneven. As they approached, the wheel of the wheelchair hit a deep rut and got stuck. Sei's chair tilted slightly. He gripped the arms. People nearby laughed. Some pointed. Dura walked ahead without turning back. Bola shook her head. Push him, Lamy, she ordered. If your husband cannot move, then you must move him. Lamy bent down. She placed her hands on the metal handles behind the chair. She pushed. The wheel remained stuck. She pushed harder. Her dress brushed the sand. Her hands slipped on the metal. Sweat formed on her forehead. She gave another push with all her strength. The wheel jerked free. She almost fell but caught herself. The chair moved forward. Children watching laughed and clapped. Push, bride! One boy shouted. Push the groom, Mira giggled loudly. Look at her, she said to a friend. She is already doing hard labor. Let her enjoy it. Lamy straightened and wiped her hands on her dress. She glanced at Sei. He looked at her with a mix of gratitude and shame. He whispered, Thank you. She nodded and kept pushing until they reached the church entrance. Inside the small church, wooden benches faced a simple altar. The pastor waited at the front. The women's choir sat to the side. The room smelled of flowers and damp wood. People filled the benches, eager to see the unusual wedding. Lamy and Sei sat near the front. Bola and Dura sat behind them. Mira sat in the front row, crossing her legs. She wore a smug smile and looked around to see if people were watching her. They were, but not the way she hoped. Some people glanced at Lamy, whispering and shaking their heads. Others looked at Sei with pity. A few looked at Dura and Bola with hidden curiosity. The pastor stood and cleared his throat. We are gathered here today, he began, to witness the union of Lamy and Sayo. He spoke slowly, his voice echoing off the walls. He read from the Bible about love being patient and kind. As he spoke, whispers continued. Bola leaned forward and hissed in Lamy's ear, Smile. Lamy forced her lips into a small curve. Her hands trembled. After the pastor finished reading, he looked at Sei and Lamy. Do you, Sayo, take Lamy to be your wife? To honor and cherish her, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health? Sei looked into Lamy's eyes. He swallowed. I do, he said softly. His voice shook with real emotion. He meant it. Even in disguise, he meant those words. The pastor turned to Lamy. Do you, Lamy, take Sayo to be your husband? To honor and cherish him, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health. Lamy looked at Sei. She remembered the kindness in his eyes, the sadness, the promise. She remembered the weight of her uncle's threats, the coldness in Mira's smile, the endless chores. She took a deep breath. I do, she whispered. She meant it too. She was choosing the unknown over the cruelty she knew. The pastor blessed the union. The choir sang softly. People clapped. Some clapped loudly, not because they were happy, but because they found it amusing. Bola and Dura exchanged satisfied looks. Mira rolled her eyes and whispered to a friend, "Let us see how they will live." After the ceremony, people moved outside for a small reception in the compound. Plastic chairs and tables were set up under a tree. Plates of rice, beans, and meat were placed on the tables. Children ran around. Old women sat on mats and talked. Young men laughed and took photos with their phones. Bola made sure the food given to Lami and Sei was smaller than everyone else's. She whispered to the servers, "Give them little. They have no money to waste." The servers obeyed. They gave Mira and her friends extra meat. They brought large portions to Dura and Bola. They gave Lami and Sei small portions with fewer pieces of meat. Lami noticed but said nothing. She shared her meat with Sei. She told him, "Eat. You will need strength." He looked at her with gratitude. He knew she did not have to share. It was another sign of her heart. Mira walked around, greeting guests as if she were the bride. She laughed loudly. She told stories about her plans to move to Lagos one day. Some people rolled their eyes. Others smiled politely, then turned away. At one point, a group of children approached Sei. They looked at his wheelchair curiously. One boy asked, "Why do you sit in that chair? Are you sick?" Some older boys snickered. Sei smiled kindly. "Yes," he said. "I cannot walk because of an accident." The boys looked disappointed. They hoped he would do something funny. One of them poked the wheel. Lami gently took his hand and said, "Do not poke. It is not a toy." Another boy asked, "Will you ever walk again?" Sei looked at Lami, then at the boy. "Perhaps," he said quietly. "But even if I cannot, I can still live, right?" The boy nodded slowly. He looked thoughtful. "Yes," he said. "We have a neighbor who cannot see, and he still cracks jokes." The group of children ran off, chasing each other. During the reception, Toby stood at a corner, using his phone to record the moments. He captured Bola whispering to the servers to give less to Lami. He captured Mira mocking Lami and dancing in front of the guests to draw attention, away from the couple. He captured Dura telling a man, "We have done well. We have finally married that girl off to a man who cannot even stand. Let us see who will choose her next." Toby kept his distance, blending into the crowd like any other guest. As the sun lowered, Mira's phone buzzed. She checked it and saw a message. "I am near your village. I would like to meet you. I am interested in you. Lon." Her eyes widened. She smiled secretly. She put her phone away and whispered to Bola, "He messaged me. The rich man messaged me." Bola's eyes lit up. "Which rich man?" she whispered back. "The one from the next town," Mira said softly. "The one they said is looking for a wife. He said he wants to meet me." Bola squeezed her daughter's arm. "Yes," she whispered. "This is it. We will do it right this time. Lami's wedding is perfect. No one will expect us to be thinking about your own suitor. We will meet him secretly. Do not tell anyone. We will make sure Lami is busy in her new small house. Then we will go." Mira nodded. "Yes, Mama," she said. Her heart pounded with excitement. She looked at Lami pushing Sei to a table. Mira smirked. Let her push, she thought. Let her work. I will soon have my own rich husband. I will leave this village. I will forget her forever. That evening, as the guests left and the chairs were stacked, Lami and Sei went to their small rented room on the edge of the village. It was one small room with a bed, a chair, and a small table. There was a kerosene stove for cooking. The walls were thin. The roof leaked when it rained. But it was quiet. It was away from Dura's control. Lami sat on the bed. She looked around. She felt both relief and fear. Relief because she was away from her uncle's insults. Fear because she did not know what life would be like with this man she barely knew. She turned to Sei. He looked at her gently. "Thank you," he said. "Thank you for accepting me. I promise I will not hurt you. I promise I will do my best to be good to you." Lami nodded. "We are strangers," she whispered. "But maybe we can become friends. Maybe we can build a life. I hope you are kind. I have known too much unkindness. Sei felt tears prick his eyes. He wanted to say, I am more than you think, but he could not yet. He reached out and held her hand. Let us take one day at a time, he said. Lami squeezed his hand gently. Yes, she whispered. They sat together in the small room, holding hands as the evening turned to night. Outside, the sound of drums and laughter faded. The crickets began to sing. The newlyweds listened to the quiet and felt the weight of their secret hopes. After the wedding, life settled into a new routine. Lami woke early to fetch water, cook, and clean their small room. Sei tried to help as much as he could from his wheelchair. He insisted on washing dishes. He learned to cut vegetables with a knife on his lap. At first, Lami protested. Let me do it, she said. You will hurt yourself. I must learn, Sei replied. I cannot sit and watch you work like a servant. We are partners now. They began to talk more. Lami told him about her mother's songs and how her father taught her to read by candlelight. She told him about the mango tree in the backyard of their family mansion, how she and her father used to sit under it and tell stories. Sei listened with deep interest. He asked questions. He asked about her favorite food and her childhood friends. He asked about the games she played. He asked about the stream where she fetched water. One afternoon, as they sat outside their room, a small breeze blew. Lami removed a leaf from Sei's hair. He smiled. You are always looking out for others, he said. Who looks out for you? I look out for myself, she said softly. I learned to do that early, but now maybe you will look out for me too. Sei felt his chest tighten. He wanted to tell her the truth. He wanted to say he could give her a life she never imagined. But he could not yet. Meanwhile, Mira and Bola were busy pursuing Mira's new suitor, Lanray. They kept it a secret from most people. They told Dura a story about going to visit a sick relative. They dressed Mira in a simple dress, not wanting to look too eager. They went to meet Lanray in the next town, taking a small bus. Lanray, of course, was Toby. He had arrived at the mansion early that morning with legal documents hidden in his bag. He wore a fine suit and gold watch. He sat in a living room full of marble tables and chandeliers. When Bola and Mira arrived, he stood and smiled. You must be Mira, he said, shaking her hand gently. It is a pleasure to meet you. Mira felt a rush of happiness. He was tall, handsome, and clearly rich. Thank you for inviting us, she said, trying to sound demure. Bola sat on the edge of the leather couch and looked around at the expensive furniture. She thought, we will live here soon. They talked for an hour. Toby asked Mira about her hobbies, her family, her dreams. Mira lied a little. She said she loved helping the poor. She said she could cook. She said she was humble. Toby nodded politely and smiled at every lie. At one point, he asked, would you be willing to sign a document to show your serious intention? It is just for my family to know you are committed. It shows you witnessed the transfer of some properties. It does not take long. Mira and Bola exchanged a look. They did not understand why he wanted that, but they did not want to offend him. They thought, maybe this is something rich families do. They agreed quickly. They signed where he pointed. They did not read everything. Their hearts beat fast with excitement. This house is so beautiful, Mira said, looking around. Is it yours? It belongs to my family, Toby replied, carefully choosing his words. We use it when we are in town. If we were to marry, it might be part of our life. Bola smiled widely. We feel so blessed, she said. Our daughter will be the luckiest woman. Later, after they left, Toby called Sei. They signed, he said. They were eager. They did not even read. Dura did not come. It was perfect. Did they suspect anything? Sei asked. No, Toby said. They are blinded by greed. They think they have caught a rich husband. They do not know they have signed witness documents for the return of Lami's mansion. They believe they will own it. Good, Sei said. We must proceed carefully. Lami must not be hurt. Back in the village, Lami and Sei's life took on a quiet rhythm. Some nights, rain leaked through the roof. They sat with bowls to catch drips. They laughed at the absurdity. Lami told Sei a story about how she and her friends once played under a leaky roof and pretended they were in a waterfall. They laughed at the silly memory. Sei told her about a time he fell from a tree as a child, and his mother scolded him while hugging him tightly. He did not mention that the tree was in an upscale neighborhood of Lagos. He made it sound like an ordinary village tree. Lami laughed and shook her head. "You must have been a stubborn child," she said. "Yes," he admitted. "I was." As they talked, Sei saw small cracks in his disguise appearing. Lami noticed his knowledge of things he should not know. She noticed the way he said certain words, like portfolio and says. She noticed how he understood legal terms when they heard others talk about land disputes. She noticed how he spoke calmly to a trader who tried to cheat her at the market. One day, they went to buy fish. The woman at the stall tried to shortchange Lami by giving her 3 small pieces instead of 5 for the price she paid. Lami was about to accept quietly, as she always did, when Sei leaned forward. "Auntie," he said politely, "we gave you money for 5 pieces. We can count. Please give us 2 more." The woman frowned. "Mind your business," she said. "Do you think, because you sit there, you know more than I do?" Sei smiled. "I may sit, but I can still count," he replied. "We have witnesses too. Please give us what is fair." The woman hesitated, glared, and then grudgingly handed over 2 more fish. Lami looked at Sei with surprise. "How did you know?" she asked as they walked away. "You gave her enough money for 5 pieces," he said. "I saw you count it. I saw her take it. I saw what she gave you. It is simple math." "But you spoke so calmly," Lami said, "and you were not afraid." Sei shrugged. "Maybe I have experience negotiating," he said lightly. "Maybe I have learned not to accept unfairness. You should not either." Lami looked at him, half amused and half curious. "You sound like a businessman," she said. "Not like a poor man." Sei's heart skipped a beat. He laughed awkwardly. "Maybe I read many books," he said. "Maybe I'm a poor man with a big brain." Lami laughed too. "Maybe," she said. But inside she wondered. Who was this man who could count fish and speak like a lawyer? Who was this man who understood business terms? Who was this man who treated her like an equal, even though he was supposed to be broken? Doubt began to form in her mind. One evening, Lami cleaned the small table and found a shiny object under a cloth. It was a cufflink with the letters SA engraved on it. It gleamed even in the dim light. She frowned. She picked it up and looked at it closely. It was heavy and expensive. She held it in her palm and stared. "Sayo," she called, using his disguise name. "What is this?" Sei turned from the window, his heart dropping. He saw the cufflink in her hand. For a moment he froze, then he forced a smile. "Oh," he said casually, "that was mine. It is old. I forgot it was there." "These letters," Lami said quietly. "Are they your initials?" Sei hesitated. "Yes," he said. "They stand for Sayo Ade. Ade. Let us say they stand for my full name." Lami looked at the cufflink again. It looked like something only a rich man would own. It did not fit the story of a poor man who lost everything. She put it back down. "You carry things that do not match your story," she said softly. She did not accuse him. She did not push. She just stated a fact. Sei swallowed. "We all carry things that do not match our stories," he said quietly. "Sometimes we carry memories. Sometimes we carry pain. Sometimes we carry secrets." Lami looked at him. She saw something like sadness. She saw something like truth. She nodded slowly. "Yes," she whispered. She did not ask more. She kept the cufflink in the same place as if to say, "I know, but I will wait." Meanwhile, Mira could not stop talking about Lanri. She told Bola that he liked her. She told Mira's friends that he might soon propose. She told Dura that their life was about to change. Dura asked, "What about his family?" Mira shrugged. "I did not ask," she said. "He said he has many houses. He showed us one. Mama and I signed some papers. I think it was a test of trust. But it is fine. He is rich. I trust him." Dura felt uneasy. "You signed papers?" he asked. "What papers?" "I don't know," Mira said. "Mama said it was okay. It had my name as a witness. It was something about property. But I did not read. I just signed." "You signed something without reading?" Dura scolded. "Are you a child?" Bola waved a hand. "Stop shouting," she said. "He said it was a small formality. Do you want to spoil this? Do you want to scare him away? He is our chance." You should thank us, Dura grumbled. He did not like not knowing what they signed, but his greed for his daughter's future wealth overpowered his caution. He pushed the worry aside and smiled. Fine, he said. Do not spoil this. We will see what happens. In the days that followed, Lami continued to notice things about her husband that did not make sense. She noticed his strong hands. They did not have the rough calluses of someone who had done heavy labor his whole life. They were soft, like he had used a pen more than a hoe. She noticed he read quickly, scanning a page in seconds. When she once saw a small newspaper in the market about government projects, she asked him what a word meant. He explained it perfectly. How did he know? He laughed it off, saying he liked words. One morning, as they sat outside, a group of villagers walked past, talking about a land dispute. They used terms like deed of gift and power of attorney. Say asked them questions to understand the case better. He gave advice quietly to one man, explaining that if the man could show proof of purchase, the court would favor him. The man stared at him. How do you know all that? He asked. Say smiled. I read many books, he said. I listened to wise men. After the men left, Lami looked at him. You speak like a lawyer, she said. Say shrugged. Maybe I wanted to be one when I was young, he said. Maybe I listened in on cases. Maybe, he trailed off, realizing he was saying too much. Lami laughed lightly, but the seed of doubt grew. At the same time, Dura grew more worried. He noticed surveyors mine land around the village. He heard rumors that the government was planning to build a new road. He knew his house might be on that path. He worried about his deeds and documents. If someone looked too closely, they might discover his forgery. He searched his room for papers. He found some and burned them at night, sweating. He whispered to himself, no one must know. No one must know. Bola noticed his anxiety. What is wrong with you? She asked. Nothing, he snapped. Mind your business. Mira overheard them talking about deeds. She said, Papa, did you ever pay for Lami's father's house? I have heard people whisper that you took it. Dura slapped her. How dare you ask me that? He roared. Mira held her cheek and cried. I only asked, she whined. Bola glared at Dura. Do not slap her for asking a question, she said. You are always on edge. You act like someone is chasing you. Maybe someone is, Dura muttered. The tension in Dura's house grew thicker. The closer they believed Myra was to marrying a rich man, the more they feared losing everything else. Greed and guilt fought quietly in their hearts. The rainy season arrived fully, bringing heavy showers that lasted hours. Water poured from the sky, drummed on tin roofs, and flowed down dirt paths. Lami and Sei placed basins around their small room to catch leaks. When it rained, their voices were drowned by the sound. They sat close together, sipping Gary in silence, waiting for the rain to stop. One afternoon, after a long rain, Lami decided to visit the stream. She carried a bowl on her head and walked carefully on the wet ground. The air smelled fresh. Frogs croaked. She saw children playing in puddles. As she walked, she thought about her life. She thought about how calm it felt in the small room. She thought about the small kindnesses Sei showed. She thought about the secrets she sensed behind his smile. Her mind was busy with questions she did not know how to ask. At the stream, she met an old friend, Amaka. They grew up together. Amaka carried a baby on her back and another bucket in her hand. Lami, Amaka called. I have not seen you much since your wedding. How are you? I am fine, Lami said with a small smile. How are you? Amaka shrugged. Managing, she said. They bent down to fill their buckets. How is your husband? Amaka asked. He is kind, Lami said slowly. He tries to help even though he cannot walk. He reads a lot. He says strange things sometimes. Strange? Amaka asked. He speaks like a big man, Lami said. But he came as a poor man. I found a fancy cufflink with letters on it. Sometimes he knows things only educated people know. I wonder who he really is. Amaka raised an eyebrow. Maybe he was rich before, she said. Maybe he lost everything. Maybe he is hiding. Maybe he is testing you. Testing me? Lami repeated, frowning. Yes, Amaka said. My aunt once told me about a rich man who disguised himself to find a good wife. He wanted to see if she would still love him when he had nothing. Maybe your husband is doing the same thing. Lami laughed softly. That sounds like a story, she said. Many stories have some truth, Amaka replied. Be careful. If he is testing you, do not fail. If he is hiding, he will reveal himself when it is right. Pray, watch, but do not lose your kindness. Lami nodded. Thank you, she said. They hugged. The water in their buckets sloshed. They laughed and walked home in different directions. When Lami returned, she found C talking with a young man about a land dispute. The man was worried that his uncle was trying to steal his inheritance. Sei spoke calmly, giving him advice on how to collect witness statements and check the land registry. Lami listened from the doorway. She saw Sei's eyes light up when he spoke about law. She saw his confidence. It was the same confidence she saw when he came as a rich man. Her heart beat faster. After the man left, Lami stepped inside. She set down the bowl of water. How do you know all that? She asked directly. Sei hesitated. Read a lot, he said. You talk like you have done these cases yourself, Lami said quietly. You speak like a lawyer or a wealthy man used to dealing with land. Sei took a breath. He looked at Lami. He saw the curiosity and suspicion in her eyes. He knew he could not lie forever. His plan was nearing its end. He needed to hold on a little longer. He forced a gentle smile. People learn from experience, he said. My experience may not match my current state, but it does not matter now. What matters is our life here. Lami nodded slowly. She did not press, but she did not forget. She placed the water on the table and sat down. She wiped her face. The rain was heavy, she said, changing the subject. Yes, Sei said. It is always heavy this time of year. Can I ask you something? She asked after a moment. Anything, he replied, his heart beating. If you had been rich, she said softly, would you have chosen me? Sei felt his throat tighten. He wanted to say, I did choose you, but he could not reveal everything yet. He looked into her eyes. Yes, he said. Rich or poor, I would choose you. Lami's cheeks warmed. She looked down, hiding a small smile. It is strange, she murmured. Life is strange. As the days passed, Dura became more anxious about the mansion. He noticed surveyors marking the road. One afternoon, he saw a man taking pictures of houses and making notes. He followed him. What are you doing? Dura demanded. I am marking out the land for the new road, the man said calmly. The government is compensating people. They need clear records. Compensating? Dura echoed. How much? It depends on the value of the property, the man replied. We need to see original deeds. We need to know who owns what. Dura felt a cold sweat. Original deeds, he repeated. What if the deeds are lost? Then we check the registry, the man said. The government has records. We know who built each house. We know who paid taxes. We know who inherited what. It is all in the registry in the next town. Dura's head spun. He had forged documents when he took Lami's father's house. He had bribed a clerk to change names. What if someone looked? What if someone found out? He felt dizzy. He rushed home and searched his bag. He found the fake deeds. He looked at them and trembled. What is wrong with you? Bola asked when she saw him shaking. They are building a road, he said, sweating. They are checking deeds. They will know I stole the house. They will take it away. They will call me a criminal. Bola snorted. Stop shaking, she said. You act like a child. We will handle it. We will lie. We will say we lost the papers. We will say we never owned the house. They will not know. You do not understand, Dura whispered harshly. People in town know. They know my late brother built that house. They know I sold it. They know I live like a king while his daughter lives in our back room. They whisper. If the government looks too closely, they will ask questions. If they ask questions, I will end in jail. Bola looked worried now. She thought about the new road and the possible money. Maybe we should sell the house quickly, she said. Maybe we should take the money and run. We cannot sell what is not ours, Dura hissed. The papers are fake. We cannot take the money openly. People will ask where we got it. It is too late. What about Mira's husband? Bola asked suddenly. When she marries Rich, we will have protection. He will help us cover things. We just need to hurry. Dura looked at her. Hurry, he said. She signed papers she did not read. What if those papers are dangerous? Bola frowned. You worry too much, she said. Stop worrying. Focus on getting our daughter married. We will handle everything else. Dura grumbled but nodded. He held on to his worry like a secret. He did not know that the papers Mia signed were the very thing that would return the mansion to its rightful owner. As the days moved toward the next month, Toby continued to play Lanray, the rich suitor. He met with Mira and Bola twice more. Each time, he acted interested. He asked them to sign more witness documents. He said it was for property transfers and trust. They signed eagerly, blinded by dreams of wealth. They did not read, they did not ask questions. One day, Toby invited them to the mansion again. I would like to show you around more, he said. I want you to feel at home. Mira and Bola went with excitement. They walked through the wide halls and admired the paintings on the walls. They touched the curtains and ran their hands over the marble tables. They imagined parties and dinners. They imagined calling their friends and telling them, "This is my house." While they walked, Toby pointed out details. This dining room seats 20 people, he said. This kitchen has 2 ovens. This backyard can host weddings. This study has legal documents dating back decades. He watched their eyes widen at every mention of wealth. At one point, Mira stopped in front of a large portrait that leaned against a wall. It was still covered in a cloth. "What is this?" she asked. "Something important," Toby replied, not revealing it. "We will show it soon," Mira shrugged. She did not care about old portraits. She cared about the present and future. She walked past it and continued to imagine herself hosting a party in that room. After the tour, Toby sat them down with a lawyer. The lawyer explained, "We need you to sign these final documents. They confirm that you have witnessed the transfer of certain properties. It is just a formality. It does not affect your rights. It shows you were here when we handled legal matters." He pointed where they needed to sign. Bola looked at the papers. "Can we read them?" she asked, feeling a twinge of caution. The lawyer smiled politely. "Of course," he said, "but there are many pages. It is legal language. It is standard. We have nothing to hide." Mira felt impatient. "Mama, sign," she whispered. "We do not want to annoy them." They both signed. The lawyer smiled and thanked them. As they left, Toby said, "I may travel out of town soon. We will meet again in a few weeks to finalize everything. Be ready." They smiled and nodded. They walked away, whispering excitedly about what color curtains they would choose. Later that week, Say told Lami he wanted to take her for a walk to the edge of the town. "I need some fresh air," he said. "Will you push me?" "Of course," Lami said. They walked slowly along the dirt road. Trees lined the path. Birds sang. Children played with tire rims. Lami pushed the wheelchair gently, careful to avoid stones. She breathed in the scent of wet earth after rain. When they reached a small hill, Sei said, "Let us rest here." They stopped. They could see the village from above, the small houses, the farms, the church, the school. To the east, not far away, stood the old mansion with white walls. It looked worn but still proud. The mango tree in the backyard was tall and green. Lami stared at it. "My father planted that mango tree," she said softly. "We built that house with our savings. Every brick holds our dreams." Sei looked at her. "You still think about it," he said. "Every day," she replied. "It was my home. It was taken away. My uncle says it was sold to pay debts, but I remember my father saying it would be mine." "If you could get it back, would you live there again?" he asked gently. Lami laughed bitterly. "If I could get it back, I would turn it into a place where no one feels unwanted," she said. "I would let orphans live there. I would let girls like me stay there until they find a safe place. I would never let greed enter its door again." Sei felt a lump in his throat. "That is a good plan," he said quietly. He turned his head toward the mansion. "Maybe one day you will." Lami looked at him. "How?" she asked sadly. "We have no money. We have no power. My uncle holds everything. He controls the documents. He controls the stories." "Stories can change," Sei said. "Control can slip." Sometimes what is stolen is returned. You have a strong heart. Do not lose hope. Lami smiled faintly. You speak like a dreamer, she said. You talk about things that sound impossible. I have seen impossible things happen, he replied. Impossible things start with small hopes. Keep your hope. As they walked back, Lami felt a small spark of hope flicker. She tried to hold on to it. She thought about the house. She thought about turning it into a safe place. She allowed herself to imagine it, even if only for a moment. Meanwhile, at Dora's house, Mira and Bola prepared for Mira's next meeting with Lanray. They planned to wear their best and behave perfectly. Dora, however, had started drinking more. He sat under the mango tree by their compound, staring at the road. He felt uneasy. He thought about the documents Mira had signed. He thought about surveyors. He thought about whispers in the market. He felt a heavy weight in his chest. One evening, Dora asked Mira, "What did that document say? The one you signed?" Mira shrugged. "I don't know," she said. "It had a lot of words. I just signed where they told me." "You do not know," Dora repeated, his voice rising. "You signed something you did not read? Are you a goat?" Mira frowned. "Why are you shouting at me?" she asked. "Mama told me to sign. I trust her. You should trust her. We need this marriage to happen. If we question everything, he will think we do not trust him. He will leave." "Do you want that?" Dura gritted his teeth. "No," he muttered, "but next time you ask, do not sign like a fool." Bola came out, carrying a plate of food. "Stop shouting," she scolded. "You will scare away our blessing. We have done what we must. Let us see how it ends. If you cannot handle it, then go and drink palm wine in the bush." Dura glared but said nothing. He took the plate and ate in silence. As the days passed, Lami felt a growing tension in the village. People whispered about the new road. They whispered about compensation. They whispered about government officials. Visiting soon, they whispered about who would get money and who would lose land. Lami listened and thought about her mansion. She felt a mixture of fear and hope. She hoped the truth would come out. She feared the fight that would follow. Chapter 9. The day of the final reveal arrived on a clear morning. The rain had stopped. The sky was bright. The air was fresh. Mira and Bola dressed in their finest clothes. They used the last of their good perfume. Mira wore a shiny dress with a long slit. Bola wore a new wrapper and gold bangles. They believed they would meet Lanray's family and finalize the engagement. They did not tell Dura. They told him they were visiting a friend. Dura drank palm wine in the yard, his mind heavy. Lami woke early. She felt uneasy but did not know why. She went about her chores. She thought about Sei's words. She felt a strange energy in the air. She wondered why. At the mansion, workers arrived early. They cleaned floors, polished tables, and hung curtains. They moved furniture from storage. They placed paintings on walls. They dusted the old piano. They uncovered the large portrait that Mira had not cared about. It showed a young girl standing between her parents. The girl had large eyes and a gentle smile. It was Lami. Toby stood in the backyard, giving instructions. He wore a neat shirt and trousers. He looked like an efficient manager. He called the lawyer and checked the documents. He checked his watch. He glanced at the gate. Sei arrived at the mansion, still in his wheelchair. He asked Toby to push him to a quiet corner of the hall. He sat there, waiting. He wore plain clothes. His heart beat fast. He knew the moment had come. He watched workers place Lami's parents' belongings back in the house. He saw the mango tree swaying in the breeze. He saw the old piano. He saw the framed family photo. He felt the weight of the secret he carried. He whispered to himself, "Let her forgive me." Mira and Bola arrived at the gate, smiling. They walked in like they owned the place. They greeted Toby warmly. "Lanray," Mira called. Toby smiled politely. "Welcome," Toby said. "Please, come inside. We have everything ready." They walked through the hall. They did not notice the workers placing familiar chairs in the sitting room. They did not notice the portrait of a young girl on the wall. They only thought about their future. They sat on a couch. Toby offered them drinks. They took them. They talked about the weather. They laughed. They waited for a big moment. Mira kept touching her necklace. imagining the day she would bring her friends to show them the house. After a while, Toby stood up. He called, "Lawyer, please bring the final documents." The lawyer entered with a briefcase. He placed it on the table. He took out a stack of papers. "Madam Bowler and Miss Mifra," he said politely, "thank you for your patience. We would like you to witness these documents. They confirm what you have signed before." Mira leaned forward eagerly. She held a pen ready to sign. Bowler smiled proud. "Yes, yes," she said. "We are happy to help." Before they could sign, the lawyer placed a large envelope on the table. He opened it and pulled out a deed. He read it aloud slowly. It was the deed to Lami's parents' mansion. It listed the names of her father and mother. It said the property was built in 1989 by Mr. and Mrs. Akinlami for their family. It said the property was passed to their daughter, Lami, upon their death. It said the property had been illegally transferred to Dura through forged documents. It said the government had investigated and confirmed the forgery. It said the property was now being returned to its rightful owner, Lami. As the lawyer read, Mira's smile faded. Bowler's face turned pale. They exchanged looks of confusion and fear. "What is this?" Mira whispered. "This," the lawyer said, holding up the papers, "is the truth. You have been signing witness statements, not engagement papers. You have confirmed that you know the property never belonged to you. You have confirmed that you saw the legal documents. You have confirmed that you acknowledge Lami as the rightful owner." Bowler jumped to her feet. "No," she shouted. "This is a trick. You lied to us." Toby remained calm. "We did not lie," he said. "We told you we were working on a property transfer. We did not hide anything. You chose not to read. You chose to sign. You chose greed. Now the property will return to its rightful owner." Mira looked around wildly. Her eyes fell on the portrait of the young girl on the wall. She squinted. It looked like Lami. "What is that?" she cried, pointing. Toby walked over and removed the cloth. The portrait shone. It was indeed Lami, standing between her parents in front of the mansion. Mira gasped. Bowler staggered back. Before they could speak, the front door opened. Lami stepped in wearing a plain dress. Her eyes were wide. She saw the hall. She saw the furniture. She saw her mother's mirror. She saw the piano. She saw the portrait. She felt her knees weaken. She grabbed the door frame for support. "Where am I?" she whispered. "Home," Toby said softly. "You are home." Lami's hands trembled. She touched the wall. She touched the chair. She touched the edge of the piano. Tears filled her eyes. "Is this real?" she whispered. "Am I dreaming?" "It is real," Toby said. "This house belongs to you. It always has. It was stolen. Now it is returned." Bowler's face twisted. "This cannot be," she screamed. "How dare you? We raised her. We fed her. We clothed her. This house is ours." "No," the lawyer said calmly. "You raised her with the money you stole from her. You fed her with her own food. You clothed her with her own cloth. You kept her like a prisoner. You took what was hers. Now it is over." Mira grabbed the table. "What about my husband?" she cried. "What about Lonray? Where is he? I am here," Toby said, dropping the name Lonray. "And I am not your husband. My name is Toby. I am not here to marry you. I am here to expose your greed." Mira's knees gave out. She fell into a chair. Tears streamed down her face. But, she stammered. You said you liked me." "I never said I loved you," Toby corrected. "I never promised you marriage. You assumed because you wanted it. You signed because you were greedy. You never listened. You never asked. You just thought about your own gain." Bowler lunged at Toby, but two security men appeared and held her back. She struggled. "This is a setup," she shouted. "We will go to the police." "Please do," the lawyer said. "The police know about the forgery. They know about the stolen property. They know about the documents. They have been waiting for this day." At that moment, Sayi wheeled himself from the corner of the hall. He came slowly to the center. His eyes were on Lami. She looked at him, still in shock, not fully understanding why he was there. She saw his face. She saw his eyes. Something clicked. Recognition flooded her mind. Her breath caught. "You," she whispered. Sayi reached the center of the hall. The room fell silent. Bowler, Mira, and even the security men watched. Slowly, Sei placed his hands on the arms of the wheelchair. He pushed down. He stood up. It was not dramatic. There was no music. It was quiet. He straightened fully. He stood tall. The hall gasped. Myra's mouth dropped open. Bola's eyes widened. Toby smiled faintly. Lami took a step back, her hand covering her mouth. Sei looked at Lami. Tears brimmed in his eyes. "I am sorry," he said. "I did this to free you. I did this to know your heart. I did this to expose their greed. I am Sei Adabami. I am not poor. I am not crippled. I am the man who came years ago. I am the man who fell in love with your kindness. I came back in disguise to fight for you without hurting you. I am sorry for lying, but I will not apologize for giving you back what is yours." The room remained silent for a moment that felt like an eternity. Lami's eyes filled with tears. She felt a whirlwind of emotions: shock, confusion, anger, relief. She wanted to run. She wanted to scream. She wanted to hug him. She wanted to slap him. She stood frozen, tears streaming down her cheeks. Sei took a step toward her. "I promised you I would not harm you," he said softly. "I hope I have kept that promise. I hope you can forgive me for the lies. I hope you can accept my heart. But even if you cannot, your home is yours. Your life is yours. No one can take it again." Lami took a deep breath. Her voice trembled. "You lied," she whispered. "You came as a poor man. You asked me to marry you. You watched me push you. You watched me suffer. You watched them laugh. And you said nothing." "I know," he said. "I could not reveal it. I needed to see if your heart would stay kind when you thought I was poor. I needed to see if they would show their true colors. I know it hurt you. I know it was cruel. I wish there had been another way. I hope you can forgive me." Lami wiped her tears. She looked at Bola and Mira. They looked small, shrinking in their chairs. She looked at Dura, who had now arrived and stood in the doorway, his jaw slack, his eyes wide. She looked at the house. She looked at the portrait. She looked at Sei. She felt a mix of anger and gratitude. She did not know what to say. She turned slowly to Sei. "I need time," she whispered. "I need time to understand this. I need time to forgive." "Take all the time you need," Sei replied. "I will not rush you. I will not push you. This is your house. This is your moment. I will wait outside." He stepped back, leaving her in the center of her parents' living room. She turned and touched the piano. She touched the mango tree outside the back door. She walked through the halls. She remembered hiding behind curtains as a child. She remembered her father's laughter and her mother's songs. She remembered everything. Tears flowed freely now. They were tears of grief and relief. She felt pain and healing all at once. Outside, Dura fell to his knees. "Lami," he cried, "forgive us. We did not mean to hurt you. We did not know what we were doing." "You did know," Lami said quietly, not turning around. "You knew when you took my house. You knew when you lied to suitors. You knew when you let them mock me. You knew. You just thought I would never find out." Dura sobbed. "I will return everything," he said. "Just forgive me. Do not send me to prison." "I will not send you to prison," Lami said, surprising everyone. "Prison will not change your heart. I want something else. I want you to return every land document you took. I want you to sign this house back to me legally. I want you to work for the rest of your life, at a place where you feed orphans. I want you to feel what it means, to serve those you once despised. That is my justice. That is my mercy." Dura looked at her, shocked. He nodded quickly. "Yes," he cried. "Yes, anything you want. I will do it." Bola clutched her head. "We will lose everything," she moaned. "You lost it the day you decided to steal a child's inheritance," Lami replied. "You lost when you let greed blind you. Now go." Mira sat stiffly. She stared at Lami with wide eyes. She remembered threatening Lami when they were younger. She remembered laughing when Lami pushed Sei's wheelchair. She remembered bragging about a future. Now she was humiliated, she whispered. "I am sorry." Lami looked at Mira. "I do not hate you," she said quietly. "I pity you. Greed consumed you. I hope you learn to free yourself from it. I hope you learn that life is more than marrying a rich man. I hope you learn to stand on your own. I hope you find grace." Mira could not speak. She lowered her head and wept. The days that followed were filled with paperwork, signatures, and whispers across the village. The news spread quickly. People were shocked. They whispered behind their hands. "Did you hear?" they said. Lami's husband was rich all along. He pretended. He gave her back her house. Dura forged documents. He almost went to jail. Mira was tricked into signing her own downfall. The house belongs to Lami again. The richest man in Nigeria married her and gave everything back. Imagine. Some people laughed at Dura's misfortune. Others shook their heads. Some said he deserved prison. Others said he was lucky to avoid it. Some pitied Mira. Others said she learned a lesson about greed. Most people admired Lami. They said she had suffered quietly and never asked for pity. Now her patience had been rewarded. Lami took no pleasure in Dura's shame. She moved into her family home slowly, with mixed feelings. The house was large and beautiful, but it held memories of joy and pain. She walked through each room, touching walls, remembering her parents. She cleaned each corner, sweeping away dust and old sadness. She opened windows and let in fresh air and light. She placed her parents' photo in the living room, under the portrait of her younger self. She stood in front of the mirror that once belonged to her mother and whispered, "I am home." Meanwhile, Dura, Bola and Mira packed their belongings. They moved out of the big house. They moved into a small house on the edge of the village that Dura legally owned. It was simple. It had 2 rooms and a small kitchen. It had no fancy chairs, no chandeliers, no marble tables. It had thin walls and a tin roof. They had to fetch water from the stream. They had to cook with firewood. They had to live with less. They had to face people's whispers. "Look at them," some villagers said, pointing as Dura carried a mattress on his head. "They are carrying their own shame." At first, Dura wanted to hide. He wanted to run to the city. He wanted to drink his shame away. But he remembered Lami's words. He remembered her mercy. He remembered her promise to not send him to prison if he worked for orphans. He swallowed his pride. He went to the new foundation that Seyi and Lami set up in the village. It was called the Akinlami Center for Orphan Girls. It was built behind the mansion, where the mango tree stood tall. It provided shelter and education to girls like Lami. It provided food to children who had no one. Dura went to the center. He met the manager. The manager gave him a broom and told him to sweep the compound. Dura lowered his head and took the broom. He swept. He cleaned toilets. He washed plates. He did what Lami told him to do. Children laughed around him. Some pointed. "Uncle Dura is sweeping," one girl giggled. "I have never seen him sweep." Every day, he worked from morning until afternoon. He did not complain. He thought about his greed. He thought about his brother and his wife. He whispered, "Forgive me," as he swept. He prayed that his heart would change. Bola stayed at home, cooking and cleaning. She felt bitter. She felt ashamed. She felt angry. She blamed Dura. She blamed Mira. She even blamed Lami. "She wanted us to suffer," she muttered. She planned this all along, but deep down, she knew it was her greed. She knew she had mocked a young girl and stolen her joy. She cried alone at night. Mira had to face her own lessons. She still dreamed of marrying rich, but she knew people would laugh at her if she talked about it. She avoided the market. She stayed indoors. She thought about how she had treated Lami. She remembered Lami's calm face when she threatened her. She remembered Lami's soft words. She remembered Lami's mercy. She felt small. She felt humbled. She did not know what to do with herself. For the first time in her life, she had no plan. She sat by the window, watching girls laugh as they went to the foundation. She watched them carry books and laugh. She felt a pang of envy and regret. Seyi stayed at the mansion for a while but did not impose. He knew the house was Lami's. He understood she needed space. He moved between Lagos and the village, overseeing the foundation and returning to the city for meetings. He tried to give Lami time. He tried to show her he respected her. He sent her messages through Toby, telling her where he was and asking if she needed anything. One day, Lami asked to speak with him. He came to the mansion and waited in the sitting room. He felt nervous. He had faced boardrooms of powerful men without flinching, But now he felt his heart racing. He was about to face the woman he had lied to. He took a deep breath. Lami walked in. She wore a simple wrapper and a plain blouse. She looked different. Her posture was straighter. Her eyes held quiet strength. She sat down across from him. They were silent for a moment. "Thank you," she said softly. He looked at her in surprise. "For what?" he asked. "For returning my home," she said. "For exposing the truth. For giving me a chance to be free. You did something no one else could have done. I will never forget that." "And the lies?" he asked. "Do you forgive me?" Lami looked at her hands. "The lies hurt," she said. "They hurt deeply. You let me suffer. You let them laugh. You watched my pain and said nothing. That was cruel. It will take time for my heart to heal. It will take time for me to trust you. I do not know if I can love you yet. But I do not hate you. I do not wish you harm. I understand why you did it. You wanted to expose them. You wanted to test my heart. It was wrong, but it brought me here. I am grateful and angry at the same time. You must accept that." Sei nodded slowly. "I accept it," he said. "I will not force your forgiveness. I will not rush your heart. I will wait, even if it takes years. I will be around as a friend, as someone who cares. You owe me nothing. This house is yours. Your life is yours. You have the power now." Lami nodded. "Yes," she said. "I have the power now, and I will use it to help others. I will use my story to change other girls' stories. I will not let my pain be wasted. I will turn it into something good. I will turn this house into a place of healing." Sei smiled softly. "That is why I love you," he said, almost to himself. "Your heart is stronger than any mansion. Your heart is warmer than any home. I will support your dream. I will give money, land, whatever you need. Just let me know." Lami looked at him. "I want one thing," she said. "No more masks, no more lies. If you want to be in my life, be honest. If you are sad, say it. If you are happy, say it. If you are scared, say it. I do not want surprises. I do not want tests. I want truth." "No more masks," he agreed firmly. "No more lies." They sat in silence for a moment. The afternoon sun streamed through the window. Dust motes danced in the light. Outside, children laughed as they played. Inside, the air felt lighter. The heavy secrets had been let out. The pain had been acknowledged. The healing had begun. In the following weeks, Lami turned part of the mansion into a center for orphan girls. She opened the gates to girls from nearby villages. She welcomed girls who had lost parents, girls who were being mistreated, girls who needed education. She hired teachers and cooks. She planted flowers around the compound. She painted the walls bright colors. She filled rooms with books and beds. She created a safe space. One day, a small girl arrived with a torn dress and bare feet. She looked scared. Lami knelt and touched her hand gently. "Welcome," she said. "You are safe here. Is this your house?" the girl asked. "Yes," Lami answered with a smile. "And now it is yours too." The girl smiled shyly. "Thank you," she said. At that moment, Mira walked past the gate, carrying a small basket. She looked through the gate and saw the little girl. She saw Lami smiling. She saw the flowers. She saw the colorful walls. She felt something twist in her chest. It was not envy. It was regret and something like admiration. She whispered to herself, "Maybe this is what happiness looks like. Maybe I never knew." She continued walking, her head lower, her pace slower. She carried her basket to the market. She bought peppers and salt. She cooked at home. She cleaned. She thought. She looked at the small house she now lived in, and the big house in the distance. She thought about her choices. She thought about her future. She thought about Lami. She whispered, "I must learn." Dura continued sweeping at the center. He swept leaves. He washed plates. He served food to children. Every day he looked at Lami quietly. Sometimes when he felt brave he whispered, "Thank you," as he placed plates on tables. Lami nodded. She did not speak much to him. She let his work speak. Bola rarely went to the center. She stayed at home, ashamed. She sometimes peeked through the fence to see Dura sweeping. She shook her head. She whispered, "Life is strange." She cooked and cleaned, her mind full of regret. Sei visited often. He sat with the girls and told them stories about people who overcame difficulties. He donated books. He built a small playground. He watched Lami lead with grace. He did not push his love on her. He respected her boundaries. He waited. One evening, after the children had eaten and gone to sleep, Lami stood under the mango tree. The moon was bright. The night was calm. She looked up at the stars. She thought about her parents. She whispered, "Are you proud of me?" She felt a gentle breeze that seemed like an answer. She heard footsteps behind her. She turned and saw Sei. He stood a few feet away, not wanting to intrude. "May I join you?" he asked. She nodded. He walked over and stood beside her. They looked at the stars together, standing quietly. They did not speak. They did not need to. They both felt the peaceful night settle around them. After a while, Lami said, "Thank you for waiting." "I will wait as long as you need," he replied. They stood for a long time, watching the night sky. They listened to the sound of crickets. They felt the cool breeze on their faces. They felt hope. They felt peace. The heavy pain that once filled Lami's heart had begun to lift. She knew it would take time. She knew healing was a journey, but she also knew she was not alone anymore. She knew she was strong. She knew she had a home. She knew she had a future. As they stood under the mango tree, the house behind them glowed softly. Children slept inside. The stars above shone. The road in front of the house was busy with people coming and going, laughing and living. The story of Lami was now part of the village's story. It was a story of pain and healing, of lies and truth, of greed and generosity, of downfall and rising. It was a story that would be told for years, not as a lesson about money, but as a lesson about kindness, patience, and the quiet power of choosing love over hate, mercy over revenge, and truth over lies.